process contribution is educational psychology. Topic and introduction. My introduction to the topic is educational psychology is a branch of psychology where the main objective is to study the process of learning. Teaching is to help the community during the educational process. Is to improve the educational for and possible arts and from the corresponding approach. This process focuses on the learning of each of the students with different learning methods. Educational psychologics is theoretical and practical in order to understand and improve the educational process in a broad sense and not close it only to the school. The psychologists provides for support to the study and healing, the support and learning difficulties, such as attending deficit, hyperactivity disorder, dyslexia, dyscalculia, dysphagia, dysgraphia, dyspraxia, etc. In the same supporting and healing them state a type of intelligence, some of mathematical, linguistic, musical, naturalistic, interpersonal, visual spectrum, interpersonal intelligence. Psychological component. In my opinion, in general, the educational psychologist accompanies, supports, prepares, and evaluates the learning process in the same way it helps in an evolutionary process with the purpose of working and helping the educational process focus on each area. For Jean Piaget, the father of psychology, the educational psychology in the guide in the educational process of the student. Seeing the tool is of real help that allows support to get solution to deficiencies in education the student. The instrumentals for psychopedagogical excellence. The essential text to carry the psychopedagogical evaluator and to be aimed to establish conclusion and measures to be adopted with the chip. But instead, also the classroom are the following. It's important interview with the tutor, interview with the family, observation interview with the student, basic fixed geometry text, analysis of medical reports, analysis of reading composition, and finish and knowledge of the academic records. Psychopedagogical assessment instruments. Number one, the instrument number one, interview with the tutor. It's important this interview instead to provide gains to the student developed with the classroom to count how the student in academic, socially, and emotionally in addiction it can be specific where the biggest difficulties he should present. Number two, interview with the family. It is important to carry out an evaluation. It is not only necessary the opinion of the professional of the school. Center is not always to count the problems that present in family every month. For that reason, it is necessary to take into account the whole family. Its structure is very important. If they have limits and nerves, the communication between the different members. Number three, observation interview with the student is very important. An interview with child, the child should be carried out to observe the behavior. The aspect to evaluate with the if he or she maintains and participating attitude in hip sheet is correct. In the interviews, the watch he she explains him herself, his her opinion before the center and his her response. Number four, basic fixometrics text. Sorry, my pronunciation. David Charles is the author of the scales for measuring intelligence or determining a person intelligence quality. They are scaling for XB and verbal scaling and scaling of exclusion. So that with the application of the three score and by and verbal EQ and manual EQ and total EQ. Number six, I want to back in the process, sorry. Number one, wins from 5 to 16 years old. Provides information of the child's general intellectual capacity, total Q. And in on the his her performance is verbal compression, perceptual racing, working memory and process speed. The scale is composed of 15 texts, 10 main and 5 optional. Its opinion was from 5 to 16 years old, okay? And wise from 16 and 64 years old. This objective is to measure adult intelligence, win a global program to it. The WISE is a test constructed to evaluate the global intelligence, understood and concept of EQ of individuals of any race, intellectual level, education, socioeconomic and cultural, platform and reading level. It is individual and consisting of two clays, a verbal and performance. It is based on experiment factor theory, intelligence taking for global points of view. Side is the compass of created different abilities, traits, but not independent. Now, okay, analysis of medical report. In order to make a good evaluation, the professional usual needs the clinical report made in order to study the text performing the clinical history and the conclusion draft. Sometimes a contact is made with the clinical in charge of the case. Okay, analysis of reading composition. By means of the analysis of the readings made by students, it is possible to observe the lacks that he or she has at reading level and to evaluate if it won't be necessary to apply some text or specific text. To evaluate carefully talks in will it seems to present more difficulties. Analysis of the academic records is very important. Thanks to academic records, the professional will be able to have access to the student school history and share in there has been an incident along the school stage. Being able to discard and negative case, so be a very in disorder. Okay, is my question. You can finish.